There is nothing more satisfying than getting a huge combo in a video game. Be it a fighting game, a rhythm game, a skating game, or even a monster truck game, people love big numbers. And naturally, dedicated players will strive to top the leaderboards with the biggest combos of them all. And that is exactly what I want to set out for in Monster Jam Showdown. Let's start by going over Showdown's combo system. Showdown rewards the player points for doing tricks like wheelies, jumps, flips, bicycles, stoppies, moonwalks, donuts, drifts, and destruction. All of the stunts have 3 stages: the base stunt, great stunt, and extreme stunt. The stunt type advances the longer it's performed and will grant more points subsequently. After reaching the extreme stage, the player will receive no more points and will have to complete a different trick to continue the combo. The different types of stunts are valued based on how difficult they are. For example, a simple jump is only worth 100 points, whereas an aerial backflip is worth 2,200 points. This green shade over the meter tells us how long we have before the combo ends. It can of course be extended by doing a stunt. Finally, there is the multiplier, which generally goes up by 1 for any unique stunt performed after another. And that is all we need to know about Showdown combos. Now, to get a world record, I'm going to need a consistent strategy that I can repeat over the duration of hours, keeping my combo the whole time. My best bet is to choose a map with a lot of crates, and here is why. Crates are destructible items that can add to our combo score no matter how many times we break them. And the best part is, they respawn after about 20 seconds. If we chain these infinitely respawning crates with few jumps and flips, we will have a theoretically unlimited combo. That's where the extreme freestyle map Twisted Talon Trickathon comes in. With a perimeter of crates and some jumps in between, this map is perfect for our challenge. And so my run begins. To have some fun, I did a nose wheelie and some other unneeded tricks just to start out, before doing my first few laps around the track. After reaching this rocky structure to my side, I would run into a bunch of destructibles before reaching my first jump. I would end up only doing a sky wheelie because I wasn't sure if I had enough time to do a full backflip, but on almost all other laps, I would go for it. Upon landing, I would destroy the objects directly in front of me. Then I would proceed to take this turn and sky wheelie. And as it would happen, Backwards Bob specifically gets a 300-point bonus for doing sky wheelies. As if I didn't love this truck already. After destroying some more crates, we reach one final jump and sky wheelie, before doing it all over again. "15 minutes in, and I had 100,000 times 100 points. As you can probably guess, the multiplier had already maxed out at this point, but there was no telling how high the base score could go. For the next hour, I repeated my stunts over and over again. I was determined to see if 1,000,000 times 100 was possible. Some close calls were had, but eventually, I made it. a 100 million point combo. If I had stopped right here, I already would have had one of the biggest combos in the game. But that is not what I did. Just like my longest bicycle challenge, I'm going to set the bar as high as I can. And so my combo continued. But not for very long. Yeah, some of the crates I rely on didn't respawn on time for me to hit them. And though I tried to drift to save my combo, it didn't work out. I'm not gonna lie, it's sad to see over an hour's worth of work end like that. But it was a good run. Just not good enough. If it only took me an hour to get 1,000,000 points, imagine if I took 10 hours to get 1,000,000,000. Sure, it would take up my whole day, but it would be worth it. Totally. If I can pull this off, I doubt anyone will ever be able to beat my record. But if I am gonna do this, I want to make sure I'm optimizing my points. You know how I said Backwards Bob gets a bonus for doing sky wheelies? Well, all the trucks in the game actually have bonuses for doing all different kinds of stunts. So really, I should be choosing one for the trick I'm performing the most. Which is, of course, Destruction. 2 trucks get more points for doing this: Blue Thunder and Stone Crusher. So we'll have to choose one of them. I'm gonna go with Stone Crusher just because staring at the color blue for 10 hours probably isn't a good idea. This bonus gives us a massive 4x multiplier to all of our destruction. Just to test out if this would be more efficient than Backwards Bob, I compared how long it would take me to get a 100,000 point base score under the same conditions. On average, it took Backwards Bob 6.5 minutes to get 100k, whereas Stone Crusher did it in only 4.5. Theoretically saving 3 1/3 of an hour on a 1,000,000,000 point attempt. Which is just what I needed, because I really don't want to spend 10 plus hours doing this. Nonetheless, I hopped into Showdown, put a video on to listen to in the background, and began. In no time, I was ahead of my best score. I felt confident that I would be able to maintain my combo for at least much longer than last time. Perhaps I would get a bit exhausted many hours in, but I would be taking pause breaks every once in a while to get up and refreshing myself. On my other monitor, I had my playlist of videos for me to listen to while I played, so I wouldn't get bored. Just focusing on Showdown with the sound of the truck's engine and crate crashing sound effects would likely drive me insane. But not as insane as these saves I made over the course of my run. $4,000,000 points in. I was looking forward to the halfway mark. Yet, a problem arose. It was something that took me some time to even notice. So I'm going to challenge you, the viewer, to see if you can spot what exactly is wrong in this clip. Did you catch it? Well, if you didn't, I was getting 0 points for my jumps and my drifting. After a huge amount of certain tricks are performed, the game will no longer reward the player for doing them. These stunts will still extend the combo like normal, but are otherwise completely useless. I didn't even know the extent of what stunts would be affected. Would my sky wheelies eventually be useless? My backflips? My destruction? Is it going to get to where I don't get points for anything? I did not know. But for the time being, I had to adapt. On the spot, I tried to figure out how to remove 2 of the ramps from my route. I would still be keeping the one that I was using for doing backflips, as I was still being rewarded points for that. But the other 2, I was only getting points for sky wheelies, which in the end just would not be worth it. So, right here where I would normally take the left ramp, I instead gunned it for the crates. Because destruction was still my friend, and I was receiving the majority of my points from it alone, it would make up for my lost jumps. I took this path of crates back to the structure at the start, and from there, I had my new route. Another thing I was attempting to integrate into my run were slap wheelies. These weren't an every lap thing, but if I managed to land Stone Crusher at just the right angle after my backflip, I could get some additional points. Six hours in, and I will admit, I was getting kind of tired of this. It was about 10 p.m. and I would probably have to go past 2 in the morning to get to 1 billion. I wasn't even sure if my new route was getting more or less points than the old one. Was I gonna be doing this all night? Should I just give up? I missed my turn and ended up losing it. 595,012,224 points. This was my final score. Not exactly what I wanted, but much larger than any combo this game has seen. The next day, I woke up and began finally working on this video. I felt that I had done a good enough job with my score to make it the final one of the video. After all, I can't be doing 6+ hour attempts every day. I needed to get this video out, so that was what I planned to do. No. No. I can't accept that. I told myself I would get a 1 billion point combo. That was my goal. So no, I'm not going to take the easy way out here. I am going to do this. The new route turned out to be faster. I was getting 100,000 points in less than 5 minutes, very consistently. Almost as consistently as I was getting my slap wheelies now. Nearly every single lap, I was gaining a few extra 1,000 points from doing the stunts. If there was any run that would go the distance, this would be it. Over 10 hours of total attempts, and my work had finally paid off. It was done.